Last week's video was on the tunnel mock-up, and in this video we are taking that project, finishing up by glassing in the tunnel. Let's do this.
Okay, what I did, folks, was, as you're well aware, I was doing a cardboard template. I laid that out based on what I had cut out of the tunnel. Just kind of projected these lines up after I moved the driver's side wall over and glued it temporarily. I created that template. I traced that template onto a piece of press board, and then I just took sheet metal and I formed a little lip in it. And then to follow the contour here, I simply shrunk it and stretched it to follow this pattern. So all I'm doing here is creating a nice form to fiberglass over. So yeah, pretty exciting. I'm gonna put it in and show you guys how it fits up. Okay, I wanted to give you guys a close-up of how it looks in. I like it. I like it a lot. Comes straight back. Really like the way it fits. Of course, I'll router the edges rounded to kind of match what's up there in the front. A little bit of grinding to even those up, but I'll blend all that in because I got to glass that gap in too, which is no big deal. Yeah, pretty happy with the way that was constructed. The sheet metal for the size, it was easier to bend. Instead of, if I did it all out of wood, I would have had some sculpting to do. Instead, I did it out of metal, which with a shrink and stretcher, it made it easy. Probably put a few self-tapping screws in there when I get it the way I want it. I don't like to do that, but it's going to be difficult not to. So, yep. All right, I got the tunnel all ready to fiberglass. I roughed up, thinned down all the edges. I'm gonna do this gap here where I raised it later once I pull the mocked up transmission out so I can tape the back side of this. I've got my little bulge there. It's just a piece of foam covered with foil tape. I need to pull that in a little more. See, I got the shifter all covered, got this all covered with foil tape. Got it nice and level. Just have to go in and push this out a little bit between the transmission, get that tight, and I'll be ready to fiberglass. But I need to order some more matte fiberglass. So I have 2 or 3 pieces big enough to cover all this. So I'll go in and order that. But yeah, been on vacation, but I'm all ready to get this thing fiberglassed in. As I said before, the drive shaft is down pretty far here, so I will probably cut this out and make a little pocket there for cell phone, a charger, so on and so forth. And then put an armrest on here, build it up a little bit once I get the seat in. But yeah, pretty excited about how this is turning out. This is what that tunnel form looks like from underneath. That's where I kind of blocked the form out a little bit to mate with the fiberglass a little better. Yeah. I glassed in the relief for the bell housing, as you can see there. Nice little bubble there, a little humped it in there. That should not interfere with the accelerator pedal. So then tomorrow, if my bigger matte fiberglass comes in, I will glass all this in. But I like the way that kind of came out there. Yep. I have the center console all ready to fiberglass in. I'm not going to do 100% of it, but I'm going to do 90% of it. I just think if I save some of the little tedious spots like that, slot up through there for later, it'll turn out better. I'm going to do I have 3 fiberglass mats ready, all frayed on the edges to make a smoother transition. Everything's ready. There's two over there, and there's 3 here. So I'm going 3 layers thick because this needs to be strong. I have it all wiped down with a final wipe. So I'll give that a chance to dry. And I need to find a small roller. I think it's going to work better for these big surfaces. Fiberglass is in, resin is in. That's 3 layers of 3/4 ounce matte. So pretty happy with that. See how it comes out. Got a little bit to do there on those cracks right there where I raised that, but just about 12 inches, no problem. Just didn't want to tackle that at the same time. Yeah, everything turned out, I like it. Today, I finished up fiberglass on the raised tunnel. As you can see, this area right here was raised 3/4 of an inch. I had fiberglassed in the raised tunnel back here. Earlier you saw in the video. I had a few screws to hold the form in. I patched those, and then I did each side of this. You can almost see the shadow there, the raised portion. That's 3 layers of 3/4 ounce mesh, so it's plenty strong enough. I'm taking this dash pad off the dash. You know, as you well know, I removed it, but because I raised. Now I'm looking at this upside down, but this would be where the dash meets the center console. Because I raised the center console 3/4 of an inch, I'm going to take that out of this area right here, 3/4 inch. So I'm going to remove these dash pads. You see, I got this partially removed. This is just fiberglass, so I can do just shorten it and seam it from the back and a little bit from the front. But yeah, and this is a little bit of a dash pad on here too, so you won't notice the seam. Now this one's pretty rusted, but I'll show you. Hopefully I have the right one in the camera. We're going to do that all the way around, so let's get to it. Hey, it came off. Took a little prying. These 2 bolts really hold that in there tightly. As you can see, it peeled off real nice. It comes off in big chunks if you heat it up. You can see if you let it get cold, it's real brittle. It breaks, but if you heat it up, the elasticity stays on it and it peels off nice and easy. So I'm gonna finish this up and this thing will be ready for recovering. Now, as you know, the dash sits here, so I'm gonna shorten that dash 3/4 of an inch, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. Right here is where I'm gonna shorten 3/4 of an inch. See, I have it marked. between the radio and this ledge here. Probably won't even have the stock radio, probably end up with some type of flat screen here. Depending on what I can get out. If I can get something narrow and vertical, some kind of flat screen, I'll go with that, but this will all be modified anyway. But I'm gonna go ahead and shorten it here. What I did here was I took the piece I cut out, trimmed it a little bit, and I used the 3M panel glue, and I'm using that as a splice panel. So I will glue this right back in. I will glue it and fiberglass it back in right like that, both sides. I had to split it because this is at an angle, which made this too wide, so when you split it, it comes back together and fits real nice. I'll show that once I glue it on. I'll use panel glue to glue it on. Once it sets up, then I'll glass the front real nice. It all gets covered with vinyl. So I'll glass that, sand it real nice and finish it. You'll never see it. I'll show you the finished product. You can see now I've glued the bottom part of the dash on. Took the 3/4 inch out. Because I moved it up, I had to split this because it's a little wider where it meets, but I'll fill that in with fiberglass. But I just glued it back together with the bonding adhesive with that piece I cut out as a backing strip. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys what I meant by shortening the dash. Because I raised the tunnel 3/4 of an inch, I had to shorten the lower part of the dash where the radio goes 3/4 of an inch. Now, because I'm not going to use a stock radio, I'm not concerned about limiting my space where the radio goes. Again, I hope you got something out of me fiberglassing in this tunnel. I hope you liked my form I built. There's a lot of different ways to do it for different transmissions, but I think the principle is the same. So I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. We're trying to get our subscribership up to 700 quickly. So we need you guys to subscribe. And the longer you watch the videos, the better off it is. So we're hoping we're getting more content, more technical content in the videos. So you guys will watch them a little longer, but appreciate it no matter how long you watch them. So like, subscribe, and share. And thanks again for watching.